I get it. Old habits die hard, and there are trends and things that we want to hold on to. But honey, it's time to let go. It's going to be a new decade. It's going to be a new year. All those trends that you are trying to hold on to, it's time to sever those ties. Cut those ties. Move on. Because 2020 has some better and greater things in store for you, okay? Okay, good. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Cleopatra, and if you are new to my channel and you just clicked on this video, hi, it is so great to see you. I really hope you're going to enjoy what you clicked on to watch today. But if you're a returning subscriber, hi again, it is so great to see you, and I hope that you are also going to enjoy what you clicked on to watch today. Now, if you couldn't tell from the title, I decided that I would hop on this trend and share my opinion, share my thoughts on some trends and things that I feel like we should just leave in 2019. 2019 was a hectic year. It was a crazy year. I feel like it was a crazy year for all of us. And again, I just wanted to share some of the trends that have happened over the decade and just things that happened this year that I feel like we should just sever all ties, close that chapter, leave them in 2019. They do not deserve to be a part of 2019. But I hope you guys are just as excited for this video as I am. Without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so the first thing that is at the very top of my list is reboots. Now hear me out. Hear me out. The thing with reboots is I have a love-hate relationship with this, and this isn't a trend at all, but I just still wanted to include this in this video. And the thing is, if you as a company are going to try to make a reboot on a TV show, you definitely can by all means. But the thing with reboots is you have to be very careful because people take their TV shows very seriously. Like, originals are called originals for a reason. OGs are called OGs for a reason. TV shows are called classics for a reason. They're loved by so many people for a reason. And you do not want to destroy that feeling for hundreds and thousands of people out there. So I feel like if you as a company are going to make a reboot of a TV show, please sit down and take the time out of your day to brainstorm an accurate, not necessarily an accurate, but take the time out of your day to sit down and to brainstorm a good storyboard for your TV show. Because if you're not, the only person's money and time you're wasting is your money and your time. Because when you produce this reboot and it's not good, you are going to upset so many people and you are just going to get a bunch of hate and you're going to lose a lot of money and it's just not going to be a good situation for anyone. But on the other hand, there are some reboots out there that are fantastic and they hold such a special place in my heart, and I decided that I'd share just a few of them with you guys. I feel like most of the time, as much as we'd love for there to be a reboot, most of the time the best thing is to just close that chapter, allow that TV show to just sit and rest in peace and just not touch it, you know, just not bother it, okay? Because as I said before, classics and OGs are OGs for a reason, and we do not want to ruin that sentimental feeling that we have inside ourselves. So sometimes closing that chapter and not making a reboot is probably the best thing to do. One of the reboots that I truly love is Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated. Scooby-Doo is a huge franchise, and this series is such an amazing series. If you love Scooby-Doo, oh my goodness, you need to check this out. If you love Scooby-Doo and you haven't watched this, girl, what are you doing with your time? But honestly, this is such an amazing TV show. My siblings and I have constantly rewatched this TV show, and I don't know why. Every single time I rewatch it, it's just far more interesting than the first time I watched it, which honestly makes no sense. I feel like we've rewatched this TV show maybe like 3 or 4 times. Amazing TV show, 10 out of 10 would recommend. I love it. Now, the next TV show that I'm about to mention, it's a little iffy. I feel like everyone has different opinions on this, but it is Teen Titans Go. Now, hear me out on this one. It's not necessarily my favorite, but I do definitely like this reboot. I've watched this TV show with my siblings. I find it really funny. I've rewatched a couple episodes. I'm not typically the type of person who would rewatch a TV show. If I love a TV show, I will rewatch it. Is it as good as the original Teen Titans? Never. It will never amount to the original Teen Titans TV show. I've watched that one. Watched it growing up as a child. 10 out of 10. Would recommend. It's an amazing work of art. But, you know, it's not a bad reboot. It's one that, you know, I can let slide. But I was surprised when I found out a lot of people didn't like the show. And another reboot that I have watched that is not necessarily my favorite, but I still do like, is All Grown Ups. It's basically a spin-off of Rugrats. Now, Rugrats was a really good TV show. I don't know about you, but I really enjoyed watching it. And when they made the All Grown Ups version, it wasn't bad. I still liked it. Now, we're going to go into some reboots and some spin-offs that, let's just say, were not that successful, and some reboots and spin-offs that I personally did not like. Now, if you've watched Disney before, like the old Disney, can we just all sit down and admit that the old Disney Channel was far better compared to like Disney, compared to what Disney is now. I feel like the old Disney Channel is really what built up Disney's reputation and got it to where it is today, because they had some bomb TV shows back then. You know, I miss when TV shows actually had purpose and meaning, value, and actually taught kids things, because nowadays TV shows do not do that. They do the complete opposite of that. But the first spin-off is the Kim Possible movie. Oh my goodness. Now, if you have watched the TV show Kim Possible, like the original TV show Kim Possible, 10 out of 10 would recommend a bomb TV show. You had no clue. I feel like every kid out there wanted to be Kim Possible. Kim Possible, she was just amazing. She was everything in a bag of chips. Oh my goodness. She was such an amazing character. The TV show was amazing. I loved it with all my heart. And when they were going to make a movie off of this TV show, I was excited. Like, in all honesty, I was so excited when I found out that they were going to make a movie. But then when I found out the company that was going to be making the movie and producing it, I was like, ugh, okay. You know, like the expectation was like, okay, you know, I'm excited. Then I was like, oh, that company is making it. Disney Channel made the movie off of this TV show, and I feel like if they had a bigger budget, the movie would have turned out much better. But I feel like because it was a Disney Channel movie, it wasn't that successful. Personally, I didn't watch the movie. I just watched the trailer, and I watched people review the movie, and from what I heard, it wasn't that good. So the next show is Girl Meets World. I watched the show. It was like, it was okay. I never watched Boy Meets World, so I can't necessarily like compare it, but my older brothers both watched Boy Meets World, and they said it cannot compare to Girl Meets World. So that's one that I also wanted to add. And last but not least, there's two more that I wanted to add. The first one is, I don't know about you, I watched Dora growing up as a child. I love Dora, 10 out of 10 would recommend. It was an amazing show. I personally loved it. I know there are a lot of people out there who hated the TV show, but for those of you who watched Dora and loved it, it was an amazing show. But they made a spin-off / a reboot of the TV show, and I believe it was called Dora and Friends. Oh my goodness, I hate Dora and Friends, honestly. I loved Dora growing up as a kid, but after watching Dora and Friends, that love, it was just, I don't know what happened to it. It just died. It honestly did. And just, I cannot stand Dora. I don't know if it's because I've grown up, but I just don't like Dora and Friends, to be honest. Now, the original Dora, I can watch that, but I just don't like Dora and Friends, and I don't know why. And last but not least, if you have watched 2P and Binu was, oh my goodness, it was such an amazing TV show. It was such a big part of my life, and I love that TV show so much. After I found out that they made a spin-off called Vroom Vroom Zoom, girl, oh my goodness, my head was just spinning around. I just couldn't fathom how they just downgraded like the production and everything for 2P and Binu Vroom Vroom Zoom. Garbage. Terrible. Honestly, if it was reversed, like if Vroom Vroom Zoom came before like the original 2P and Binu, that I would have understood, that I would have tolerated, that I would have respected. But the fact that it happened the other way around is terrible, because the new version isn't even animated. It's string puppets, and I'm pretty sure you can still see the strings. And honestly, it just destroys the magic and the funness that was in that TV show. And I just love the animated version better, because there's so much more that you can do with animation compared to like live action, because you are limited to so many different things. But 2P and Binu Vroom Vroom Zoom was a flop. It was a fail. The fact that a team of people actually collectively sat down and like, hey, you know what, we should produce a TV show like this, appalls me. So honestly, no. But this next trend was just purely idiotic, and it was a Tide Pod challenge. I don't even need to elaborate. That challenge was just dumb. Like, you could have died from that. Honestly, it's just, no, I didn't like that. The next one that was purely idiotic was the Kylie Jenner lip challenge, like the lip challenge in general. I mean, like, the thing with the challenges, it was kind of funny in the beginning, but then people just started abusing the challenge, and they just took it out of hand, and it just, like, you know, it was just so dumb. And a number of people actually got hurt from doing that challenge, and that was just purely idiotic. The next trend is like a fashion item, and it's like falls under like the fashion category, and that's small sunglasses. Now the thing with small sunglasses is there are some people who can genuinely rock the small sunglass look. Like there are some people who actually know how to style small sunglasses, and it's actually a fit, it's actually a look. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, yes, you know, go rock that fit, go rock that look. But there are just some small sunglass outfits that are just No. And just the whole idea behind small sunglasses, I was just never able to personally understand, because at the end of the day, I always thought sunglasses were meant to protect your eyes from the sun. And girl, when your sunglasses don't even like go past like your lower lash line, like I just never understood the purpose of small sunglasses, and I don't think I ever will. Another one is plastic clothing. Plastic clothing was such a big trend, not necessarily in 2019, but like throughout, like, I don't remember exactly, it was like the 2019, 2018, maybe 2017, but everyone was trying to come out with plastic clothing, and I'm like, what the heck? Like, people complain about how uncomfortable jeans are, and you told me you're gonna release plastic clothing? Do you know how uncomfortable it is to walk around in plastic clothing? Imagine walking outside on a hot summer day wearing plastic pants. Do you know how uncomfortable that would be? You sit down, you can see all your sweat line, no, not sweat lines, you sit down, and like you can feel all the sweat inside your pants, and when it gets hot outside because it's humid, you see all like it gets all foggy and steamy, and just your legs get so hot. Like, honestly, it's so uncomfortable, and I just don't understand why people would want to buy plastic clothing. The next fashion trend that I really hate is extremely ripped jeans. Now, if you have a small rip on your knee, that's okay. You have a small rip on your upper thigh, that's okay. If you have multiple small rips in your jeans, that's perfectly fine. But when your whole entire like thigh is out, or when your whole entire like calf is out, or like your whole entire leg is out, like, I mean, that kind of destroys the purpose of jeans, you know what I mean? And the thing that hurts me the most is some of y'all are really out here paying full price for these jeans, and jeans are expensive. Like, if you want to go to American Eagle and get a good pair of jeans, it's probably maybe like $50, $60, probably even $70 to get a good pair of jeans. Maybe if you're lucky and they're on sale, you can even get a pair of jeans for $40, maybe $45 at most, probably like the cheapest you can get them. But I mean, if you're going to pay for a pair of jeans and you're gonna pay full price, at least make sure they're like, you know, wearable and like they'll actually like last. Another one that I have, ooh, I can feel the Visco girls coming after me, is Crocs. I don't know, like, I used to wear Crocs when I was younger. I still don't get the hype behind Crocs. They just don't look good. They just look ugly. I feel like they're almost impossible to style with any outfit. And I just don't like them. I really don't. I just never have, and I don't think I ever will. So I feel like Crocs should just stay in 2019. They just stay in 2019 along with the Visco girls. And I know I did a Visco video, but like, they just deserve to stay in 2019. Oh, you know, we're gonna scrunchie in the video. Oh my gosh. But they deserve to stay in 2019. Let's be honest. Next thing that I never understood was transparent bags. Like, honestly, I don't know about you, but I always thought the preference of a bag was to A, hold your stuff, and B, conceal the items from other people so they wouldn't be able to see them. And a transparent bag completely defeats the whole purpose of that. Now, hear me out. I've seen some people style some transparent bags, and it looks super cute, and I definitely understand where people are trying to come from with the transparent bag look, because let's say, for example, if you're going to go to a concert and you get want to take a transparent bag with you, that's super cute, because when you go to concerts, the security level is super high, and in that instance, I can understand, because you're not going to bring a bunch of like legal documents with you to a concert, you know what I mean? That I can understand. But if you're trying to run your everyday errands and you're bringing a transparent bag with you, I probably don't think that's the best idea, because inside your transparent bag you probably have your wallet, and you probably have your ID, and inside your wallet you probably have your credit card. Two very important things that you carry around with you, and the last thing you want is anyone to steal what's inside of your bag. At the end of the day, I feel like I never really understood the preference behind transparent bags. I feel like at the end of the day, just get a bag that conceals and covers your stuff, because, you know, that's what makes the most sense. Now, some transparent bags I definitely understand, like a transparent pencil case. I can definitely see where you're coming from. From that sense, a transparent makeup bag, I can totally understand where you're coming from. But like a transparent purse, I don't really understand, because you're trying to put all your stuff in there and people shouldn't be able to see it. I mean, if you want to do that, at the end of the day, you can do that. The point that I'm trying to get across is, if you want to use a transparent bag, just use it on a day where you're not carrying important things inside your backpack, because you don't want people to like steal your identity or your information. I mean, if you're going to a beach, yeah, sure, bring a transparent bag if you want to. If you're going somewhere that's not that important and you're not carrying important documents, go ahead, you do you. But for the most part, I hate transparent bags. So the next trend that I just don't like is POV TikToks. Now the thing with POV TikToks is, hear me out, there are some POV TikToks out there that are genuinely so funny. Like, they have me laughing. They're literally like, I'm laughing and my stomach is hurting. That's how funny some of these POV TikToks. And some of the POV TikToks are just, oh, they're just something else. Like, some of them are like, no offense, but like some of them are just so cringy, and you're literally sitting there trying to watch it and you're just, oh, you're literally just clenching your jaw because you're just like, oh, you know, this is just so cringy. And I feel like if you're gonna do a POV TikTok, at least do it right. So the last trend that I want to talk about is companies that are not inclusive. And there are two companies that I specifically want to talk about, and that is Brandy Melville and Victoria's Secret. First, we're going to start off with Brandy Melville. If you do not know what Brandy Melville is, it's basically this super trendy clothing website and clothing store that a lot of teens like to shop on. And basically they just sell a bunch of like trendy clothing. And there are two issues that I have with Brandy Melville. A is the pricing of the clothing. I feel like their clothing is very overpriced because I have seen many videos of people remaking Brandy Melville clothing for only a fraction of the price, and basically they just go to the thrift stores and basically like remake the clothing. And secondly, the problem that I have with the clothing company is this whole idea of a one-size-fits-all. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't think it takes a rocket science to put two and two together and realize that we all have different body sizes, we all have different body shapes. We don't all look exactly the same. So the fact that a company is trying to market a one-size-fits-all style, or a one-size-fits-all like clothing style, is very toxic. And one thing that also upsets me the most is the fact that this company is targeted towards young teens, which hurts me the most because teens and kids in general are so impressionable. I mean, it's not very hard to persuade a teenager into doing things. Teens are very impressionable. They definitely like to follow along with trends. They like to do things that are popular. And the fact that they're sending out this toxic message hurts me so much because there are so many people out there thinking that their body shapes and their body sizes are not okay because they cannot fit into a certain style of clothing, and people who are out there literally just trying to lose weight just to fit into this style of clothing, or just to be able to say that they fit into Brandy Melville clothing, which is not a good mentality to have, and it's not something good to advertise. Now the problem that I have with Victoria's Secret is, if you did not know, Victoria's Secret is this big company that sells a bunch of like women's undergarments, bras, underwear, all that stuff. They even have like perfumes and stuff like that. But Victoria's Secret recently got a bunch of backlash for not having, but just basically for not their models being all-inclusive, because if you've noticed, or if you've watched a Victoria's Secret fashion show, or if you've just been in Victoria's Secret in general, a lot of the models look exactly the same. Very tall, very slim. There's not very much diversity. The only diversity there is within the models is just their race, which I will applaud and respect them for, but other than that, there's just zero diversity. And I found out that recently they had hired their very first ever plus size model. I'll have the article linked down below, and I believe that article was published October 18th of 2019, which, I mean, is very, very, very recent. It's only December 30th of 2019, so that's very recent. And the company has been open since 1977, I believe, so about like 42 years, correct me if I'm wrong. The fact that Victoria's Secret was not inclusive with their sizes and with their models, it upsetted so many people. It upset so many people, and so many people were boycotting this company, and the company got so much backlash. And then I believe it's called Savage Fenty. No, it's not Fenty Savage. It's Savage Fenty, which is a company owned by Rihanna, and they also sell bras and underwear as well. And her line is far more inclusive compared to Victoria's Secret, because Victoria's Secret's inclusive line is kind of a joke compared to Savage Fenty. And Rihanna's line was being praised for being so inclusive, which I do dearly respect. But the problem that I have is Victoria's Secret has had the company for a long time, and the fact that they have not been inclusive and they got so much backlash for it, I definitely understand, and I definitely understand where people are coming from and why people are getting mad. But the problem they have between Brandy Melville and Victoria's Secret is the fact that Brandy Melville is doing the exact same thing that Victoria's Secret is doing, and yet they are not receiving any backlash for it, which is the weirdest thing that I don't understand. Now, I have heard people speak up about it on YouTube, but the thing is, Brandy Melville is doing the exact same thing that Victoria's Secret is doing, and I don't hear anyone complaining about it. There's literally no one complaining about it at all. But the minute another company does it, they get backlash for it. That honestly doesn't make sense. Like, why is there this double standard? Why is it that one company can do one thing and get away with it, and then another company can do the exact same thing and receive so much backlash for it, which I do not understand. and like I just can't wrap my head around. So I feel like if you as a company are not going to be inclusive with your products and your clothing, you probably shouldn't sell it at all. Just make sure it's inclusive. So yeah. So that is it for today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I think it's safe to say this might be my last video of 2019. If it is, thank you guys so much for just being a part of my channel and for being a part of my life this 2019. This year has been such an amazing year, and our family on YouTube has grown quite a bit, and I just hope it can grow even more in 2020. Happy New Year's Eve, because that's when I'm planning on uploading this video. What else do I want to say? Happy New Year's. Well, a happy early New Year's for anyone who's out there watching this video. Again, I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I really hope you can enjoy whatever New Year's festivities you're going to be partaking in today or later in the evening. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next year, or should I say next decade. And thank you guys so much for watching. Bye! Oh, you